Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we recap the recent Bourbon Palooza Festival held here in St. Louis, Missouri.
Woohoo!
My name is Kathy Cool. Please join me in welcoming my co-host Steve Agley, along with our special guests, Tim Swyatt and Evan Van Nieters. Sorry.
What's up?
Von Nieters.
Von Nieters. Just yes. Hey, gang. How you doing?
Blake and the Von Nieters.
Just gave away his secret identity.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Interesting. What's up, gang? You guys doing good?
What's happening?
Everyone's dragging a little bit. I mean, we just came off the festival. So, yes. I came up with a format, I believe, that is kind of perfect in logistics-wise, but also pushes people to their limits where they know they attended the festival at the end of it. So yes, yeah. So, and it's not that much. It's not like, it's like Las Vegas. You only need, if you're doing the right stuff, you only need a short time there. And this festival is like, it's enough, even though it's technically basically just a day, though you could stretch that out and do some things around it. But yes, it definitely is exhausting. So, but we're done.
Maybe just a day, but it takes 5 days to recover. Thank you.
Exactly. So there you go. So we'll talk more about that after the break. For right now, though, Tim said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, sir?
Yes. So on topic with this, we have a nice gap between events, and the general took the advantage of the gap between events to take me to my most miserable shopping experience that I can ever imagine at Hobby Lobby. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my stories of me trying to get kicked out as well as trying to get sent to the car, neither of which I accomplished, but it is quite a journey. So I was curious to see if any of you have a similar vindictive or revenge shopping experience that you were forced to go on by a family member or significant other. Or just what's your absolute misery? You just cannot stand walking into that store and you wish that they were not around.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't a store, it was an experience.
Okay.
And I'm going to take you all the way back to 1988.
Okay.
When my mom took me shopping for prom dresses.
Oh.
Yes. So we go into, I think it was Famous Bar still. And every dress she picked, I hated. It. Because she had a different sense of style. And every dress I picked, she hated. So I don't think I ever tried anything on. We got really mad at each other and got in the car, and she was so angry that when she got onto Lindbergh to drive home, she smashed on the gas and got her first and only ticket in her life.
Quite memorable.
And she still brings it up to this
Was she
day.
mad at you? Did she blame you?
Oh yeah, she was mad because I wouldn't try on.
Fault.
I wouldn't try on her Holly Hobby.
That was your fault. That ticket was your fault, not hers.
That's what she believes.
She was the victim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Kathy,
believe me, when the cop started spinning the lights and everything, she looked at me and she said, "You know this is your fault."
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And I laughed because I was a dick 18-year-old girl.
Yeah.
What was wrong with the dresses, Kathy? Were the sleeves not big enough?
Actually, right? I think I was looking for something a little different than what she was.
Gotcha.
And everything she wanted had a bunch of lace and bows and hoops and puffs.
Right. Right.
And I'm a more simple style girl.
Yeah.
But it's your fault.
I
Oh,
famously
absolutely.
hate shopping other than the grocery store. I worked in the grocery business for quite a while, and I do like the grocery industry. And I enjoy going to the store and seeing how things are marketed and all that. I still like that. I still envision myself how I could reset that to make for a better set, all that kind of stuff. It's weird, baby. And I hate everything else other than Amazon. I just would shop everything, and I pretty much do. And you can get into levels of hate. God, I hate Costco and the whole cultish thing around it. I hate shopping malls. I can't stand to go in those things. Walmart gives me the creeps. But I'll tell you, I found the worst of all of them. The worst place to shop in America is called Buc-ee's. That is, I don't understand it. I don't understand trying to get off the highway and it takes me 20 minutes to get into a gas station. And then you get there and they have 100 pumps and they're all full. And then you say, fuck it, I'll just get gas down the road then, but I want to go in Buc-ee's because it's this iconic thing and it must be cool with all these cars. And then you go in there and it's fucking complete chaos and it's tight. I had an anxiety attack in Buc-ee's because there's so many people all over. And then it's this tiny ass store and they're all in a goddamn gas station with shopping carts. They're all, beep, beep, and they're like how clean the bathrooms are. And there's fucking lines out the door. They have like 100 stalls in each of them, and they've got an hour wait to get into these bathrooms with 100 stalls. It's the most insane shopping experience. People just lose their mind there. I have no idea why. It's terrible.
It's a gas station meets a Walmart meets a Six Flags.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all there. So yeah, that's the worst. They all are bad, but that's the worst. Yeah.
Sounds dreadful.
Yeah. What about you, Von Nieters?
I feel for you on that one. I didn't think of that one. That's a good one. Tim, yeah, I'm right there with you. Hobby Lobby, not a place you want to go. For me though, yeah, like a makeup store, something like that. Yeah. No thanks. I'm just gonna follow you around and stand there on my phone or something, It's nothing for me there.
Like all the
play with the perfume.
Yeah.
So Tim, how about you, man? Any other stories? What do you got?
The Hobby Lobby one is the one that I just because I'm Target is another one, but I get real pissed off at Target when they remove the lawn furniture in the summer because I have no place to sit then, and they just know where they can plant me. So Diane hates it when the holidays start coming around because they've got all the stockings with letters on it. And there's somebody in the store that must be my soulmate because there's a lot of different phrases that are made with those stockings. I wish I knew who that person was because I think we'd be friends right away and we'd go sit in the baby because we'd be in the rocking chairs there, which they also removed, those bastards. You go to the nursing chairs, you sit in those and rock for a while. You never know. Lazy boys are good, but nursing chairs in the baby section. You got to get across all the side eyes that you get, but once you're sitting there rocking, you don't give a shit anymore.
You don't care.
No.
Yeah.
No.
For you, is Target worse than Walmart? Is that what you're saying to us?
If he is, I agree.
I would say it's worse than Walmart because you already know what you're walking into Walmart. The problem is there's a lot of people that walk into Target with the same type of attitude of Walmart attitude, and they're just more pretentious.
Here's number one that stands out to me: Target versus Walmart. Well, first of all, Walmart just seems dirty; it's filthy. But what I don't like about it is there are 4 times as many people in your average Walmart versus your average Target. So right away, that's an advantage to me. A lot less people. That's
true.
That's to me, that's positive. It is and again, they may be assholes, the ones that are there, but I also don't feel like anybody wants to sell me meth inside that store. Whereas Walmart, if I'm looking for meth, need some meth, I guarantee you, I would have 8 people running to my aisle. I'll be like, I got you, buddy. Yeah.
But if you want cocaine, you got to go to Target. So
okay,
there you go.
I like that Target's quiet. Like you go into Target and you're not overwhelmed with the noise and the people and everything. Target's quiet.
All right.
And there aren't as many unattended children. I feel like Walmart is just run amok with unattended children everywhere.
Well, these people got to go sell their meth. They can't stay with their kid for that.
Correct.
That doubles
They'll
the
have to be
charges if you get
supervised.
caught with the kid and selling it. So, yeah, you just leave the kid behind.
Exactly. It's a good call.
Not every day is take your kid to work day,
Right.
I guess. But I guess I'm bougie and I like Target. So
Target. Yeah. If I had between the two, I'm going Target. Not that I like Target either, but for me, it's the better of the two. But interesting. We need to bring back Kmart.
We need to bring back.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Kmart.
stay away.
Yeah. Attention Kmart shoppers. So very cool.
Light special.
Yeah. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Tim.
All right. So this Bourbon Palooza, we were missing a few people. That was Becca Sue and Royce, but I don't think the biggest gap of the weekend was missing Jim Fosnock. So I've got a bottle of Planters and Jim's Tribute that I'm cracking open today.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
That's from Nobleton's. Slide on the set.
No. Tim got a lot of heat about his lack of cork pop. So
Got a lot of heat.
feels like you could do a GoFundMe and you might be able to get some money out of that. To
I
help
may be
you.
able to do something with this one. I gotta do something. Yeah.
There's a lot of sympathy there. There's people that want to hear those corks pop from you. So
There's people that feel bad for me.
You'll
And
find
I
there's
feel you,
support
people.
in the community.
Yes, I feel you.
You think they would come
You know
to
who you
your
are.
aid?
Yeah. All right, Von Nieters, what do you got?
Well, I picked this up over the weekend while at still 6:30. It's a double barrel straight bourbon whiskey.
Okay. Solid.
Good.
Solid. Yeah.
I didn't hear
Not
anything.
your best effort. Oh, I did. It was a little sloshy though. A little sloshy
Yeah.
in there. But not great, but not bad. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying, but I am just saying. Everybody would always be like, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not judging, but I'm just kind of saying. Kathy, what do you got there?
I was going to look for my Ronazalco rum, but I forgot until just now. So I'm going to open up a Boxing Bear.
Wow. That's how you stick the landing. That was perfection.
That was solid.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've got Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. I don't think I'm going to beat what Kathy just threw out there, but I'm still going to play the game. Let's see what we got here. No. I was not even a factor. I beat Swyatt, so there you go.
I got that going for you.
Cheers,
The
gang.
lock.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
All right, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about Bourbon Palooza in St. Louis 2024. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Matt Rainey, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily. One day when I grow up, I'm going to grow a big boy beard, just like Colonel Steve.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are talking about Bourbon Palooza 2 Electric Boogaloo in St. Louis.
Nice.
Well, done.
Yeah. So it very fun. I mean, you guys. I assume you guys had a good time at the Bourbon Palooza.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
much so.
A blast.
A lot of fun. Very positive on the feedback. I had a good time, which is saying something. So, there was I'd say 30 to 40% less annoying stuff happening to me at this one. So it was nice. There were some logistic things, but I think anytime you're doing anything of that sort, there's going to be some issues and things like that. And I was able to deal with all those, and I think everyone had a good time. So it was good. Just to give the audience an idea, the Bourbon Palooza, first of all, if you're just hearing this, you don't even know what it is. It is a festival that I put on. It is involves some bottle shares and some other, like this had a dinner the first night. Not everyone attends that, but everyone does attend the Saturday, which is 4 events in the AM, 4 in the PM. We do a lottery style thing where we do almost like a draft for which 2 you get to do. So you get to choose which events you participate in, and they all have their own, what you're going to do with them. They have their own costs as well, so you kind of pick and choose based on that. And then we cap everything off with Saturday night with a big blowout party, and that was held at the ABV Barrel Shop. I want to ask you guys, what were your 2 events and what you thought about those, just so we can give the audience a feel for what we're talking about with these sort of events, and what some of the highlights were with what you had to do. So, Kathy, we'll start with you. What was your first event in the morning and then your afternoon event?
I started at Nobleton's in the morning with Demetrius. We had a delicious breakfast made from, I think, everything from his farm. Even the milk for the coffee, he said he milked from the cow the day before. That always
Of course he did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then we followed that up with going down into his distillery and tasting barrels and talking about the different trees and the different staves and the barrels and all the stories behind the barrels. And Demetrius is just a really fun guy to listen to, and we had a great time. Time goes so fast that we got to do very little else except hang out and taste whiskey and
He's dynamic though.
friends.
He's dynamic. He's there's certain people who just have this magnetic personality that draws you to them, and he is one of those people. And that's why and again, I'm good friends with the guy, and I've always liked the guy, and I'm as close to him as anybody in the market. But you see how people are drawn to him, where he has this fan base of people who just follow him. And Bob Whitlatch came into the store afterwards. He's like, I know why you talk about this stuff with him. He's like, that guy's fantastic. And that was his first time meeting him, of course. And but that just shows you, what it's like with Demetrius. So yeah, he's definitely a
See, it's
special
funny you
person.
say that, because Bob Whitlatch pulled me aside too at the party on Saturday night, and he said, I get it now. He said, I fanboyed over Royce for so long, for the last 10 years. Wow.
Right.
If this guy if he breathes again, I'm driving whatever I can to go find out what he's doing. So, yes.
Darren jumped on that when Bob came into the store and said, I want to buy anything Demetrius has done. And Darren was like, well, besides this, and this, He's also
Right.
he probably walked out with at least 6 bottles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. It was funny to see that sort of reaction, especially from Bob, who famously is fanboyed out for Royce, and of course he loves Becca too, and he still does love them, I'm sure. So, but yeah, now he's got another one in the mix.
You never forget your first love, Steve.
Exactly. And he has the all-time greatest line ever when it comes to Becca Sue, when his wife said, "Oh, you sure talk about her a lot. You may have a little crush on her," and he said, "All men have a crush on Miss Becca Sue." Which is classic. It's classic. So, and then Kathy,
get a barrel named after you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right?
wheat latch. Yeah, the old wheat latch. Yeah. What, Kathy? What about the afternoon? What did you do in the afternoon?
In the afternoon, I was at the Speakeasy listening to Dustin from Ross and Squibb. He took us through a really nice chunk of geeky history. How everybody back in the day when they were making whiskey and spirits was doing it because it tasted good. And then the scientists would kind of come behind and say, "Oh, well, this is why." And they're like, "Well, we don't care. We just do it because it tastes good."
Right.
And then how things kind of standardized and slowed down and then billowed back out in the late 90s and 2000s. And
Yeah.
we tasted some really good stuff.
I am a big fan of Dustin. I've watched him evolve, as of you, Kathy. You were involved in the Missouri Whiskey Society like me. And Dustin's big thing back in the day was just shtick. It was just the fact he was loud. That's all that he brought to the table. He was the loudest person in the room. And didn't really know anything about bourbon. I didn't feel. I would always be like, "Oh God, this guy again." Now I think he's educated himself. He's dedicated himself to the spirit, and he's great. And he's got an important job. And he's in charge of sales for Missouri and Illinois for the Luxco / MGP portfolio / Limestone Branch / Penelope. I mean, he's got these great brands that he's responsible for, and he always takes care of me. So he broke off on his own after he left Gamblin' Whiskey House, where we would see him for the Missouri Whiskey Society. And he worked independently for a while, and he had on a kind of a contractual basis, he had what Luxco. He had them as a client, and he would do events, and I would go out to them, and sometimes my wife and I might be the only people that were there. And it's good to see people that remember that kind of stuff, like Demetrius. I famously cared about Demetrius before other people in the market did. And it's the same thing with Dustin. And some people forget that stuff. I can give you examples. I won't do it on the air, but people that I helped out and build their brands. And once they make it, they want to move on. They want Fred Minnick to pay attention to them, not me. That's that they've made it when they get Fred Minnick's attention. Well, I certainly kind of help getting that for them. But so some people forget, but some people remember. And he's certainly one of those people that remember, which is cool.
Yeah, he was very complimentary of Colonel Steve.
Yes. And it's continued to pay off for me. He's helped me get barrel picks, which there's no way I would be, we'd never get a Yellowstone barrel pick in that store. So he's helped me out do that kind of stuff. And he's got a bunch of projects and cool things lined out. He's got an incredible thing that he is going to be offering us. I could talk to you guys. I assume you might probably heard about it already. And but yeah, I don't even know. And it's going to be a big thing. With a lot of people, but I don't even know there's going to be such interest in it. I don't even know how you limit it. That's the only thing that's the scary part is how do we do this where half the people that I know aren't pissed at me. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is yet. I'm thinking about it now. I got to work on that. How do I do this? So yeah, it's that's going to be something. And then he's got another big project he's looped me in on company wide that could be very cool on our movie side of the space. So
there you go.
Should be neat. So yeah, Kathy, sounds like you had a good day, and certainly hanging out at the party is always fun, and hanging out with Kathy's just fun anyway.
Oh, thanks.
She's a fun person.
And that dinner Friday night, that was spectacular.
Yeah, I was embarrassed we didn't sell that out, but it's sometimes you just have to do things, and even when they're good, and you know that the value's there, and you know that it's an excellent thing, you have to just do them, and then other people have to see what they missed, and then next year you sell it out. That was and we didn't have a bad group. We had 34. We could have had 48.
What
and
seats looked full? I don't know where the other seats were.
At the bar, wasn't it?
the bar.
Oh,
They only had 4 at the bar, and they could have got the rest of them there.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that'd probably be tight too. So it's not a bad thing not to be a completely full house, but we certainly could have had more than we had. But again, not a bad thing, and it'll be great next year. I know the staff was very happy. Everybody was happy. Patrick, who owns it, was incredibly happy, and already said, "Hey, if you want to do this again next year, we'd love for you guys to consider us." Well, yeah, consider it done, Patrick. We're coming back there. That place is good. It's like the perfect setting, perfect atmosphere. It's kind of upscale, but also not so upscale that it's uncomfortable where they're just giving you like little mini plates of weird foods.
There was nothing mini.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the pours had to be 2-ounce pours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were great. So yeah. All right, Tim, how about you? Tell us what you did in the morning and then what you did in the afternoon.
Sure. So I started out at Nubby's for breakfast with Steinkamp and Investment Whiskey.
Yep, I attended that one with you. Yep,
that well exceeded expectations. So he gave us 4 samples of his products. So it was a port, Madeira, rum cask, and French oak. I believe there's 4. I think there's one more maybe.
The new one's
that was
French.
it. Yeah. And then we had 2. We did one of the Steinkamp's signature Friday night events at the Barrel Shop, his AB series. So we get AB are 2 samples. They're blind. One is a Barrel Shop pick. One was from his personal collection. And I hit a bucket list item during that event, which was really nice. But I'll talk about that in a second. But the real part of the event was the breakfast, which was absolutely outstanding. They did a great job. It's French toast with eggs how you wanted it, some bacon, some sausage, but the cream of the butter on top of the French toast was mixed in with the investment whiskey, finished in the rum cask, which was real. That really put it over the top. And then we had a little workstation to create our own whiskey, our own finished whiskey. So he had oak staves in cognac, rum, with port, Madeira, and I thought it was maple syrup. Was the other one. So he had 2 options for you. 100% sweet corn, and then the other one was it a high rye whiskey? I think it was. So me and the general both were there, so I got to get both of them. We did 1 maple syrup and 1 rum. We did the rum finished stave in the sweet corn whiskey. So I'm looking forward to that. That's been probably a little over 24 hours now. So I'm about ready to remove that out there so it doesn't taint it too bad. But start sampling through that here in a little bit. But then it was just spectacular. So then what I thought was interesting was the AB pick with my and that was the blind samples. Is I have the first option that we had ended up being a Dancing Goat Limousine Rye from the Barrel Shop, which I thought was perfect. That's a great expression. And then I'm tasting the next one. He's like, "Oh, this is from BTS. This is I really stepped up for this one. Akeley told me to step up, so I'm stepping up." So he listened and he knocked the ball out of the park and he threw a bottle of William LaRue Weller in there. And that's one after all the whiskey festivals I've been to, everything since 2002, I've yet to taste WLW. And I finally was able to do that at that event. And it was everything that I thought and dreamed of. And I just won't pay anything more than retail for any of that stuff. It's just one of my things I can see it. It's always there. It's the Great White Buffalo. Finally got to try it blind. And it was everything I expected it to be. So thank you, Steinkamp, for that. That was really a hell of an event.
Yeah,
I think everybody left fat and happy on that one.
Steinkamp did an amazing event, and also got Todd Dinsmore too. I don't want to leave him out of it, the owner of Nubby's. But they combined for this amazing event, and again, you think about all that they were up against. Steinkamp has the smallest whiskey brand of anybody there. There's no employees of investment whiskey or anything like that. And the fact that he could come up with that great of an event and hands-on and fun and interactive, and you get to take away of this whiskey that you created. I'd say that's pretty cool, and it captures what he's doing and gives you an idea of how business works, and the fact that he's changing that whiskey. He's taking a whiskey, trying it, and then doing something to change it in some way. Hopefully, it's, for the better. That's what you're trying to do when you're finishing products and all that. So yeah, cool, great job by him.
Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds like an awesome class.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, because when you're looking at the options, you normally wouldn't have landed on that one.
Right.
And I am so happy that I did, because I think I enjoyed that the most out of all of it, because it was just something new, something fresh, and something different. And it's nice also giving people other spots who haven't had certain experience with certain distillers. If you keep on going back to the same ones, you're taking spots from everybody else. So it was nice switching it up a little bit and trying something different. And
Right.
I appreciate supporting the investment whiskey brand too as well. It's nice when you get to know the people that are behind it, and you really do see that passion, and it's just not bullshit. It's
Right.
really something that they're trying to do, and they're trying to do it their way, and they're unapologetic about it. And it's just nice to support the brand like that. And then so after that, then I had my miserable experience at Hobby Lobby, and I didn't succeed, getting kicked out or thrown to the car by the general. I came back with more crap in my car than I went down with. But then we ended up at the Barrel Shop for the Ross and Squibb event. I was with Kathy at the bar. And Dustin was the storytelling, and the whiskey kind of brought you. I wanted to try some of their new products that they had, but I'll tell you, he knocked it out of the park on the storytelling part of it. Had me hooked immediately. So I could get that but he was trying new content, which, as somebody who also speaks publicly, trying new content and trying to work through it with and making mistakes and calling it out and just working through it all. It just made it more authentic, more vulnerable, which made the event that much more personal and unique for the attendees that were there. I really, really enjoyed what they're doing with their 2-grain options now, which I think was very, very interesting. The whiskey was spectacular. What I did not like hearing, and this has been one of my topics, I've been on this soapbox for a while, is they're moving to 700 milliliter bottles so that it's transferable all across the world. And there's where you're going to see your product spread out. And where all this whiskey's going. They're moving to, probably not everybody, but a lot of your global distributors are going to be moving to 700 milliliter bottles, which I didn't like hearing. I like having my 750s, but I get it.
It makes you wonder, and I get that. That is nice, but would they, if the global standard was 800 milliliter, would US be upping it to 800?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I don't think they would. I think this
not.
is something they can take advantage of and be like, well, hey, what are you going to do? We sell globally. It's just too difficult to do that. It's not that we want to do this, but yeah, it's. By the way, the price is still the same when it was $750.
Right.
This is it's horrible that we got to do this, but there's nothing we can do. It's a global economy, folks. I'm sorry. By the way, you're still paying that.
The two standard offerings that they had, they're both $49.99, and they're well worth that price. And you have the George Remus blend. I'm going to make this blend at $100, and people are going to buy it, and it's amazing. It scoops off the shelf. But then the experimental option that he was able to pull that they have was really, really intriguing. I'm interested in to find out what that mash bill or what they've done with that product, because I thought that experimental one stood out for me the most, and not just because it was experimental. It was just so different than everything else, and they had each of those products were very, very different than what's on the shelf. And it's nice hearing that when they're pulling the recipe and the process that are going into those brands now, the house brands for Ross and Squibb are only going to be for Ross and Squibb. They are not selling those recipes or those barrels to anybody else now, which, as a shareholder, thank God the light bulb went off, because why am I paying all these different prices and it's all the same stuff? Now make your brand unique. And okay, so if 22 barrels are pulled for the Rossville Rye, and they're only going into that product line, nobody else has access to those barrels. Well, now I'm very intrigued. Versus the other way, I can maybe get that same type of flavor profile from somebody else at a different price point. So, but I thought it was very informative. And it was just nice being in the speakeasy, to be honest with you. It's the first time I've been over there when it's been finished. And as a member doesn't get down there very often, it was nice spending time with other speakeasy members and just spending some time in that space because it's really special.
Yeah, I think that long term, that's going to end up being the heart and soul of the place because that's where we're going to do the events and getting people together. And we're always going to have the classroom, and that's certainly an important part of our business to roll things out. But the things that are truly the fun and the epic things, they're more and more going to be happening in the speakeasy side. So it's really cool. And this was not another opportunity. I mean, we had our anniversary party there was the first thing we did there, and this is really the second thing, other than small events for members. Which again, Tim, you don't get to participate in that as fortunately as much as you'd like to because Chicago versus St. Louis. So yeah.
I got a home to go to when I'm in town, and that's all I care about.
That's cool.
Help supporting the brand, help supporting the people, because that place is very special.
Yeah. How about you, Von Nieters? Tell us where you went in the morning, then in the afternoon.
Yeah, so in the morning I started out at the Speakeasy doing a cocktail class with Meredith Berry.
My God, she's the breakout star of that event.
Oh my gosh,
breakout star!
Amazing.
People, anybody who's in Meredith Berry's event love Meredith Berry.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. She's just a good person in general. She was really fun, very friendly, and she was really good at helping us make the cocktails and stuff. So what the class was is she would make a cocktail. There's 2 cocktails for us to make. She would go up, make the cocktail. We'd all watch. She'd explain why you're doing what and everything, which was crazy to me. You know, I never knew so much. You know, actually went into cocktail making. Actually, does. It's not just putting.
Sometimes you think a bartender's just pouring things in there. Yeah.
Right.
No, there's more to it than that. For the ones that are good.
Yes, exactly.
Unfortunately, somewhere that are just pouring shit together. That's their job. But,
yeah, exactly. And then so she would go up there. She would show us how it's done. And then we would go up in groups and make them alongside her while she kind of guided us. And
what a great format! And that's her proprietary. I've never heard anybody else do that. When you're at a cocktail class, everyone makes the cocktails together.
Right.
And how much can the instructor really have an impact? No. When you go up and you stand at the front of the group, you're making your cocktail in front of the group, and she's helping you in front of everybody, which helps everybody learn as they see how the assistance she's giving. What a great format!
Yeah, and it made it more fun for everybody else too. You know, getting to watch everybody make their cocktails and too. You know, everybody didn't always turn out the same too because we're not professionals. So
right.
But no, all the cocktails turned out delicious too. That was a great time. I think everybody had fun at that one.
Yes, yeah. She's awesome. So yeah, that was really really a cool thing. And then what did you do in the afternoon?
So in the afternoon, went to Still 630 and got to try 9 different experimental whiskeys that they're making. And we basically got to go through and we had little note cards to rate, what we thought on the nose, the taste, the finish, and then if we think that they should keep making it. And then any comments or recommendations we have. And then we were also picking our favorite to get into the barrel shop.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
What here is still doing
so we what's that?
Oh, you cut out there.
What?
You cut out. You just we lost sound there for a second with you.
Oh. What'd you hear? I don't know. We picked a barrel pick. We tried all 9 different ones, and then and it was kind of cool to talk about and hear about. We went into it blind. He asked us at the beginning, he's like, do you want to know what everything is beforehand? We all said no. We'd just tell us afterwards. And good thing he did, because there were so many different things in these blends. I mean, you're getting down to 8 different grains in some of these things he's talking about. There's 2.5% of apple smoked wood or whatever. It's it got to be a lot. So I'm glad that we didn't find that out till afterwards. And it was a really fun event. And then afterwards, it was kind of cool. He was like, come up to the bar. You guys can try anything. And, we're kind of open for business for you guys. And a lot of people hung out and spent a lot of money. And it was great.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Back to Meredith for just one second. I I'm fascinated to see somebody has a skill and, can do things that I can't do. And again, something that someone may see and again, thinks is easy. But when you see someone who's a true artist at what they do, and I saw her pick up a grapefruit and slice off a little piece of it, of the, what do you call the
rind?
The rind, yeah. Cut off a little piece of the rind, and she's doing that for all the drinks for everybody. And then, but here it is. Look at that. It's just like the perfect cut on it. It's like this. It looks like it's a toy, a children's toy or something. It is some sort of game or something like that. She just has the perfect cuts on each one, and it does it effortlessly. Yeah.
And that was crazy too. So we made like these like coffee old fashions, and the grapefruit you wouldn't think would go well with it, but what she did is she would take that and you take the skin and you just squeeze it over the glass and you can see the little bit of juice go on there, and then you rub it on the rim and it changed the whole cocktail.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Right. That's really cool. So, yeah. So there you go. It's that's a look into some of the events I did in the afternoon. Kathy already talked, or Tim did. Excuse me. Tim talked in the morning. He was at the same one that I did with Steinkamp. But in the afternoon, I went with Gary. I was at Lit Cigar Lounge, and Gary ran through some of his whiskey. We had a cigar that was promoted by Lit Cigar Lounge as one that will pair well with whiskey. And then the idea was to go through all of them and see which one that you thought which of his whiskeys it paired the best with. And it ended up being the Bloody Red Butcher, won by a landslide. There was Rubenesque got a couple votes, the Blue Corn got a vote, but really the Bloody Red Butcher that he had there was the one that everybody voted paired well with the cigar. And then he gave away us a 15-gallon barrel, one that it's empty. People always want to know when you're giving away a barrel. Was it full? No, you can't do that. Nobody can do that. That's not illegal to do that. But it's an empty barrel, one that was recently dumped by him. It's just a cool thing. It's an awesome barrel. 15-gallon barrel is like perfect. You can, it's flexible what you can do with that. You can use it for an infinity barrel. We have one in our guest bedroom when people stay. It's a nightstand. It's like that perfect height for that. We have one at the back of the shop too that is the staging area for trash that needs to go out. We always put boxes and stuff on there, so it's just not piled up on the floor. Because the fire department doesn't like stuff piled up on the floor near the door, so it's not on the floor. It's on the barrel. It's on the barrel. It's legal. So that's stacked up there for a reason. So yes, yeah. So that's fun stuff. So there you
Steve,
go.
I do have one thing to add about this weekend, because it's never a Bourbon Palooza. This is the second one now without a little bit of controversy.
Correct.
And it has nothing to do with McNew this time, believe it or not. I was so happy to see McNew. She made it through. Now, she took a nap, I understood.
Yeah.
So, that happens. But the controversy was around the length of Demetrius Kane's shorts and amount of thigh that he was exposing.
Yeah, too much.
Well,
too much thigh.
Event. It was too much thigh. I argue on the side that it's just enough. But there is some controversy out there. So if you're in the crew club listening, there's some nice comments back and forth about that.
Yeah, your take is always it's different on the two. There's two issues Tim has a unique take on. Number one, he wants the toilet paper to be reversed. Yeah, he wants the mullet. He wants, and I don't know if he does this stuff just to push people's buttons or he truly believes that in his heart. I don't know, and I don't think we'll ever know because he will argue it to his death. And then the other one is he likes men's shorts to be to show the thigh, to be above the knee. And I think they should break at the knee myself. I think that's the perfect length of men's shorts, so you don't have to see anything. I don't want to see anything. Because what bothers me, if it doesn't break at the knee, when they sit down, that's going to ride up some. And if I'm already seeing half their thigh, I don't want to see 3/4 thigh. That much I know.
Neither of us want 3/4 thigh. That is a no-go zone. I'm 100% with you on that.
So
there is a happy median there, and it is just above the knee.
Yeah. So Demetrius, he's maybe it's a new thing. He's always worn longer shorts up until this point. So I don't know if it's a transitional thing. It was a bad shopping day, and he's like, well, once I bought these, I got to wear them.
Bad laundry day. You never know.
Maybe, yeah. We don't know. We don't know what caused this. But it did cause some controversy. There was some friction that was had amongst the crew members and everybody attending talking about this. I think one as far as men's thighs are for the bedroom. So that's how polarizing. That's how polarizing.
Controversy was.
Yeah. Universally,
A lot
the
of
less
fun.
you see of men is the better for the most part. There certainly are exceptions to that, I would assume, for the ladies, but and maybe Demetrius falls in that. I don't know, but most guys, that's why I have to take this stuff seriously of breaking at the knees and all this kind of stuff. Nobody wants to see anything with me, so I know that. I'm of the age where I know that, and I've accepted that, and it is what it is. It's part of my life. You get to a point where you're like, no one wants to see me walking around the beach without a shirt on or anything. So yeah, you just like, I'm not going to be that guy who's like, I'm just living my life and I'm going to show it off anyway. And then what bothers me about the beach these days is when sometimes I'm laying on the beach and I have my shirt on when I'm out in the sand and stuff, but there's always drones going over, and I don't want to be on their goddamn page wherever they're broadcasting this video footage they're taking. I don't want to be like, take a look at this guy, and they just slightly block out my eyes, like that would cover up for if you guys saw me. You'd 100%, you'd recognize the beard. You'd be like, oh my god, look at Akeley here. There he is. I'm just trying to enjoy myself on my vacation. I don't need.
Sarasota Tim's going to catch you on one of his videos,
right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, mark this episode. This is episode number 2930, because fast forward in 5 years when Steve's at the ABV Network Retirement Community, walking the beach with only a bag of Pappy Van Winkle covering his genitals.
Yes.
So let's mark this show. We're going to see how this flies out 5, 6, 7 years from now.
Well, I'll be like that one guy. I'll be making money off of taking pictures with college students.
That's right.
Yeah, and
yes.
Of course, they're of course using it to make fun of me and all that, but I'll know that, but I won't be on social media myself, so I'll just live in this bliss of it's just me.
It's going to be beautiful.
Getting cash tips, right.
Yeah.
So
why not?
There you go. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Von Nieters, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me getting excited for next year's Bourbon Palooza in St. Louis, and you can also find me on Instagram at Von Nieters.
Very nice. Already getting ideas. Already started working on it back at the shop today. We were busy planning for next year, so pretty cool. Kathy, how about you?
You can find me on Instagram at KKCastStrength.
Tim?
You can find me with Von Nieters, excited about Bourbon Palooza St. Louis in 2025, and on Instagram at SwyGuy2112, and on YouTube at Our Flagship Whiskey.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's going to be abvnetwork.com. Check that one out because everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. You never know what's going on there. We've always got events, activities. We're doing big things over at the Speakeasy, as we heard about today, so you never know what's happening. So check us out online. Look at our schedule over at abvbarrelshop.com. Kathy, anything else to say before we get out of here?
Yes, I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. This helps new people find the show, and that's very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theABVNetwork.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Hey, everyone.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.